On September 14, 2019, the Abqaiq oil processing facility in eastern Saudi Arabia was arguably the single most valuable industrial site on Earth. To keep it safe, Riyadh surrounded the facility with some of the most expensive hardware money can buy. We're talking Skyguard air defense systems, Shaheen surface-to-air missiles, and Patriot batteries pointed at the sky. But at 4 a.m., a swarm of cheap, low-flying drones and cruise missiles slipped completely under the radar. They bypassed the billion-dollar shield. This chart shows the immediate aftermath. Saudi Arabia's oil production drops by half almost instantly. Look at the gauge next to it. 5% of the entire global oil supply vanished in a matter of minutes. Rebels in Yemen claimed responsibility, but intelligence assessments from Washington and Riyadh quickly traced the technology back to Tehran. Saudi Arabia spent hundreds of billions of dollars on traditional military defense, and it failed to stop the attack. The ruins at Abqaiq exposed a terrifying reality for the Gulf monarchs. Infinite wealth cannot buy security against cheap asymmetric technology. The Arab states of the Persian Gulf derive their power from stability. Their economies rely on foreign investment, uninterrupted shipping lanes, and calm markets, but their geography is exposed. Gleaming cities like Dubai and Riyadh depend almost entirely on massive desalination plants sitting unprotected on coastlines. Across the water, Iran operates on a completely different model. Decades of heavy international sanctions have forced Iran to build a resistance economy. Their infrastructure is decentralized, hardened, and built to survive isolation. The Arab monarchies are perfectly engineered for peace. Iran is engineered to absorb friction. In any sustained war of attrition, the interconnected, highly developed Gulf states have vastly more to lose overall. To understand how Tehran developed this advantage, we have to look back to 1979. The Islamic Revolution replaced a secular monarch. With a revolutionary theocracy, Ayatollah Khomeini declared his new model wasn't strictly for Iranians. It was for the entire Muslim world. Iran bypassed Sunni rulers, speaking directly to marginalized Shia populations living inside Arab borders. They encouraged protests and unrest, turning religious identity into a tool of statecraft. Nervous Gulf monarchs saw an opportunity to neutralize this threat when Saddam Hussein invaded in 1980. States like Kuwait and Saudi Arabia poured billions of dollars into Saddam's war chest to keep his tanks rolling across the border. The war dragged on for 8 brutal years and cost nearly 1 million lives. Iran emerged exhausted, paranoid, and holding on to a permanent strategic lesson. Never fight a traditional war and never let the battlefield be inside Iran. Instead of projecting power with massive standing armies, Tehran began investing heavily in proxy networks. They funded militias, embedded operatives inside fragile states, and pushed front lines away from their borders. The United States invasion of Iraq in 2003 removed Iran's greatest rival. Tehran moved fast into the vacuum, flooding the country with intelligence officers and funding local militias, turning Iraq into a launchpad. Iran carved out a continuous corridor of influence called the Land Bridge, running through Iraq and Syria to Lebanon. Looking south to Yemen, Iranian-aligned Houthis seized the capital. The Saudi peninsula is now completely surrounded. The math of this encirclement heavily favors Tehran. A Saudi Patron interceptor costs around $3 million. A Houthi drone costs a few thousand. This proxy ring gives Iran a critical layer of plausible deny and die. They can bleed their neighbors economically and strike vital infrastructure, all without firing a weapon from Iranian soil, making direct retaliation incredibly difficult to justify. This map of the Strait of Hormuz dictates the region's strategy. At 2 miles wide, 20 million barrels of oil flow through daily, but Iran controls the northern coastline. With coastal batteries and fast boats, holds absolute tactical dominance. If the Arab states or the US ever attempt a direct invasion, Tehran can shut this straight down. They possess the ability to paralyze global trade and collapse Gulf economies without dropping a single bomb on an Arab city. While the proxy network maintains the current stalemate, a new variable threatens to escalate this regional conflict into a global crisis. Iran is rapidly advancing its nuclear program. Look at this gauge tracking Iran's uranium enrichment. It is climbing rapidly past 60%. At this level, the breakout time required to produce enough fissile material for a single weapon shrinks from a matter of years down to just a few weeks. If Tehran crosses that threshold and builds a bomb, the strategic calculus of the entire Middle East breaks. The revolutionary regime would become completely immune to foreign invasion, and they could supply their proxy network in Lebanon, Yemen, and Iraq with absolute impunity. For Saudi Arabia, this is an absolute red line. The leadership in Riyadh has stated explicitly that if Iran acquires a nuclear weapon, the kingdom will immediately acquire one of its own. Imagine a standoff similar to the US and Soviet Union, but with terrifying differences. There are no diplomatic back channels or red phones here. There is virtually zero trust, and the flight time for a ballistic missile between Tehran and Riyadh is less than 5 minutes. In March 2023, Chinese mediators managed to broker a diplomatic handshake and restore basic ties between Saudi Arabia and Iran. But this is widely viewed as a pause, not a peace. Both sides are simply just buying time. The underlying proxy networks and the spinning nuclear centrifuges remain entirely untouched. The Middle East is in a deeply structural Cold War. On one side, monarchies whose vast wealth depends entirely on stability and open markets. On another, a state built to survive chaos and dismantle the status quo. And as long as those forces are separated by one narrow, highly weaponized stretch of water, a single miscalculation could ignite the global economy.